There's a technique that I've used across many of my books to not only increase book sales, but increase my brand awareness and to build my customer base. Now, this technique I've used to also help with my book launches, and it helps with building a review team to build your brand, to build your book sales upon your book going live, and it's something that you can implement yourself as well. So in this tutorial, I'm going to step you through the process that I use and the platform that I use to be able to help you to build your customer base, your subscribers, and your review team that can really help with driving book sales and getting repeat customers to come back. My name's Romney, and thank you very much for joining me on my YouTube channel. On my channel, it's all about building, scaling, and growing your self-publishing business, and these are the videos that I want to be showing you to be able to help you with your strategies moving forward. So let me get into this presentation about how to drive more book sales and build your brand along with building a customer base for your self-publishing. Let's get into it now. And a warm welcome to this tutorial. This is going to really help you to accelerate your book sales and build your brand, and I'm excited to present this information to you. Now, it's going to be a condensed version compared to my 1.5 hour course. This will run for approximately 45 minutes, but make sure you stick around to the end because there's a free download that runs you through the setup guide for what I'm going to be teaching you in this tutorial. So let's get into things now. So one thing that I see all too often is that publishers just do not take advantage of what I'm going to be teaching you. Now, if you can become the top 10% of self-publishers that do implement this strategy into your self-publishing business, then you'll be well ahead. And this is the scenario that usually plays out. A publisher, an author, or someone that is a creator will create their amazing book. A customer will buy that book, and then that's the end. But what we want to do, we want to build out the end point where it's not the end, it's just the start. And this is where we need to create a good brand around what we're developing, build a good, strong customer base that we can then remarket existing books to, new books to, help with book launch strategies. There's so many different things that we can do. So let's move on to the next major point. Now, most importantly is what will be covered during this tutorial. Well, we're going to be looking at building an audience. So how do we build that audience for our book sales and for our brand? Creating a lead magnet. I'll talk about what a lead magnet is and how that's critical to what we're going to be doing as part of our email marketing. We're going to be building an email system. So how do we actually create that system? An introduction to ConvertKit. This is the platform we'll be using and why it is the easiest system to use. How we create our system and the 4 key steps. And then also places to build an audience and what you can actually do to spread the word about your books and building that system that becomes automated. So let's move on to the next point. So why build an audience? What's this going to do for us? And why is it important to get a list of email addresses that we can then utilize for the future? We need to consider getting email addresses as a bit of an insurance policy, because if something happened to a platform you're using to communicate to your customers and you lost that contact point, that could be critical to the detriment of your business and being able to do sales. But the old-fashioned email is still a very, very powerful way to reach out to customers. And we want to build our audience because they can help us in so many different ways. They can help us with current sales, future sales, book launches, and spreading the great word about what we're doing and our brand. And the more often you're in touch with your customers, the more trust that will be built. So therefore, that leads me on to the next point. What if you could build or create a system that does build a loyal group of customers that return to purchase more books or resources? So you can see my fictitious book here, How to Sell More Books Online. What would that look like if I sold that book it's my amazing book, and a customer then received some correspondence from me, which then led on to them buying another 3 or 4 books from me over the journey. That one book would then be multiplied across not just that customer, but they might speak to other customers as well. And so that's why it's going to be so important to create this system. And so when a customer purchases your book, you have a ready-made and captivated audience. If you don't have a means to contact them, how will they ever know about any future releases or current books you have created? If you're using platforms like Amazon KDP or Ingram Spark, or even if you have a YouTube channel, for example, and you've got loyal customers or loyal people that are following you, how do you get in contact with them? And how would you remain in contact with them if you lost that platform or the ability to use that platform? And that's why the email marketing system I'm about to teach you will allow you to have that insurance policy for many years to come. And that brings me to our key focus for this tutorial, is how do we build an email list? Well, we create what they call a lead magnet. And this is generally how it would work, but I'm going to go into much more detail. So you would have your book. Inside your book would be a value proposition or a resource that your customer would have or gain extra value from. The customer would use a link within that book, which would then take them to a landing page where they would then be able to fill in their details to download your lead magnet. And I'll talk about the different kinds of lead magnets that I've included in my books previously and why they've worked and why they've been so effective. But firstly, we also need to identify, are we permitted to be doing this with our books through KDP? Well, let me show you. I've actually gone to the effort of making sure I contacted KDP to get clarification around it to give you confidence that you can actually do this. So in February of 2022, I contacted KDP. And this was the response after I asked if it was suitable and okay to include a link or a QR code to an external source which a customer could download, or a resource. Or can you provide a link via a QR code or something in your book that might take you to or customer to a website, for example? And was their response. Hello Romney, it's Bridget here from KDP. Thank you for your email. You can include hyperlinks or a QR code in an ebook. If it is a paperback, you can also include a QR code or a website address. Best regards, thanks for using Amazon KDP. So I wanted to make sure I included this because I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that may be a bit unsure if you're permitted to do this, but KDP have confirmed that you can. So let's look exactly at what a lead magnet is. A lead magnet is a marketing term for a free item or service that is given away for the purpose of gathering contact details. And it's the ideal way to be able to build that trust up with your customers. And these are the things that I'm going to be teaching you about how to build a lead magnet, a landing page, email sequences, therefore loyal customers, and building out your brand, therefore generating more book sales. So how is our system going to work? Well, the beauty is that you don't need a website. Let me step you through the 7 different stages. So number 1, you would have your book. A customer would purchase your book. Inside your book, you would have your lead magnet. The customer would like to get extra value from your book, and they would like to get their hands on this resource, whatever that might look like for you. They click on the link inside your book or scan the QR code, and they're taken to a landing page. They enter their details, then via email, they receive a download of your lead magnet. You then have the customer's email details and potentially first name details, and therefore you have an active audience that you can promote further books to, current books to, or even help with reviews and with getting a launch happening with new books that you might be releasing. So let's identify why it is important. Well, because a ready-made customer base will help you to generate initial sales. This helps with keyword rankings, because the more sales you can get in the first 30 days, the better. The better your book's going to be ranked, the better it's going to be over the long term. They can help you with generating book reviews. Of course, they need to be reviews that are unbiased, but this helps build social proof. Again, fantastic for getting more books sold. You can build ongoing sales with new releases when you have a customer base. You can build your brand awareness and, really importantly, build trust within your customers. The more touch points you have with your customers, the more trust that is built, and the bridge between not knowing a customer and actually knowing them is closed up, and that's great for everybody. So let's start to transition into how we create the marketing system. What's going to allow us to build this system that works 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year? No matter whether we're asleep or awake, this system is going to be working for us and automated, so it's nice and easy to maintain and look after. And we use ConvertKit. So ConvertKit is a platform that allows you to develop all these systems, and I've got some key points that I like about ConvertKit. What we're going to do in a moment is to jump onto the platform and have a quick look around, but let me identify some key reasons why I prefer ConvertKit compared to other email marketing systems like MailChimp or ActiveCampaign. Well, as you'll see when I jump onto my dashboard in a moment, the interface or the dashboard is so much easier to use than any other email marketing platform I've ever used. So it's perfect for me. I'm not necessarily a great IT person. I'm not very IT savvy. I can do things okay, but I'm not great. I like the pricing structure because it's very reasonable and takes into consideration your return on investment, the size of your subscribers, and it scales up as you scale up. So you've got the opportunity for like a 14-day free trial to start with and a free plan depending on how many subscribers you have, which is perfect. And there's plenty of options to create a landing page, one-off emails and sequences, and you don't need to use necessarily other platforms to go through that creation process. It's all there in one place, and that's what I like about ConvertKit. So let's jump onto my dashboard and I'll show you a bit around before we get a bit deeper into the major steps that we need to do to get this system set up. And this is the main website for ConvertKit. The great thing is that you get 14 days free to trial it out. Now, I like that because I want to make sure that it's going to be suitable for me. I can work through the platform nice and easily. And during that 14 days, you can trial everything out. So that's what I would definitely recommend that you do, is just run with that free trial, sign up, create your account, and then closer to that 14 days, you'll be given an option whether you want to continue or stop your account. And that's the great thing about having that opportunity to do that. So let me log into my account and show you a bit through the dashboard before we go through those major steps to get this all happening. So this is the main dashboard. And what I really like about ConvertKit is that it's very simple. So if you go to Grow, takes you to subscribers, landing pages and forms. Under Send, broadcasts, which are one-off emails that go out. You've got sequences, templates and snippets, automations, you've got the rules, you've got integrations, all those sorts of things. And you can also go to Earn as well, products, tip jars, payouts, and there's different tutorials as well that you can go to. But compared to other platforms, ConvertKit by far for me is so much easier to use. I'll quickly show you across at ActiveCampaign what that platform looks like and what I had when I was with ActiveCampaign and why I felt that it was just a bit complicated for me given my expertise in wanting to get this going. And this is the dashboard for ActiveCampaign, and look, it may be suitable for you, but I'm just speaking personally from my experience. I just found that there were too many things to work through. You had the automations which were there, then you've got conversations, you got lists, you got sites, you got reports. There's just a lot going on. Whereas if you go back to the dashboard of ConvertKit is just so simple, so easy. So if you wanted to add more subscribers, then you can easily add more. If you had an existing platform that you had all of your subscribers on, then you can easily transfer them across. And what you need to do is just go add subscribers. That will take you to the opportunity to be able to import a single subscriber, a CSV, or from another provider. And you can just follow that, and it's very, very easy to do. It gives you the main dashboard of what's happening and the dates as well. Then if you want to go through to different areas as part of your setup, then you can do that. And we're going to be going through a number of these anyway during this tutorial. But this is just a quick little look at the easeability of using ConvertKit compared to other platforms. And therefore, the main question we need to ask is, well, how to use ConvertKit to build an audience of loyal customers. Let me step you through the main key action points that I'm going to get you to take during this tutorial, and I'll be pausing, allowing you to set up what you need to, and you can just simply follow the process so that when we get to the end of the tutorial, you're all set up and your automation is set to go to build your email list. So the first thing that you'll be doing is creating a ConvertKit account. Number 2, we'll create our lead magnet. Number 3, we'll create our landing page. Number 4, we'll create our email sequence. And number 5, we'll add the details to our manuscript of our book so that customers can click on it, which will be allowing them to download your lead magnet and become a subscriber. Now, if it feels a bit overwhelming, don't worry. I've just broken it down into easy steps that you can simply follow. So let's move on to those 5 steps now. And remember to take action after each of the steps is concluded. So step number 1, I'm going to get you to do is create your free account with ConvertKit. Now you can look in the description of this YouTube video, or you can use the free setup guide that you can also download that has all the links and all the information you need to set up your free account. Remember to make the most of that 14-day free trial. Therefore, you can test it out, make sure it's going to be right for you, and you can use it moving forward. So what I want you to do is to go and take action now and set up your account. Remember, you can use the link in the description of the video, set up your account, get ready, come back to the tutorial, and off we go again. Step number 2, create your lead magnet. Now you can use Canva if you would prefer to design it that way, but your lead magnet just needs to be something of value for your customers. It can be a Word document, it can be a PDF, whatever you think is going to have value to your customers that they would want to download as a link from your book. Let me just show you 2 examples of a couple of lead magnets that I've used for my book called The Habit Switch, and then also a recent YouTube video that I created about providing free tools for KDP. So let me show you those now. And this is the lead magnet for one of my books. And what it did, it provided value to the customers to work through their goals. So it had my Dr. Action acronym, talked about goal balance, and then the customer could print this off and they could include their health, wealth, self and happiness goals. Then it had a bit of information about my other books that I've got and links to those books on Audible and KDP. And that is one suggestion with your lead magnet. Just make sure you have great value in it so the customer is happy to become a subscriber, so they get value, and then you can build your email list from it. Let's look at one other example. And my second lead magnet was a free and paid tools for KDP, and it showed all the 14 different free tools that I showed in the video, my YouTube video. Then it's got different videos and playlists which customers can look through as well. There's different paid tools that I've used to scale my self-publishing, and then my course details too. So this resource really was able to help customers. Therefore, they wanted to get this resource. It provided value to them, and then I can actually share different valuable information through an email sequence with those customers that download this free tool lead magnet. So let's move on to the final stage of developing your lead magnet and what you need to consider. So your lead magnet, as mentioned, it can be like a one-pager. It can be a tracker. It can be a resource, something that holds value for your customer. So just think carefully about how you create it, because you'll be able to include that as a download when we create our landing page for ConvertKit. And that takes us to step number 3. So step number 3 is to create our landing page. Now, a landing page is like a website page, and a customer will land on that page and they'll enter their details. I'm going to show you an example of this landing page and how professional it looks when you use ConvertKit and what a customer would do to complete their details to get the free lead magnet. And this is the landing page. Again, as I said, you don't need a website to create this. And I was able to create this very simply on ConvertKit. It looks very professional. I was able to change the buttons, and you've got details for the first name and email address. Download today. When the customer fills this out, they would then receive an email. Attached to that email is the lead magnet. Then they've got that lead magnet. Then I would receive the email address, and then I can send through a sequence of emails depending on what the download is and what my end goal is as well. So let's quickly show you how you can create your landing page within ConvertKit. So the first step you need to do is go to where it says Grow. Click on Landing Pages and Forms. Then we get a choice. We need to either use an existing one or we can create a new one. We create a new one, we go to Landing Page. Then we get the option of choosing any of these. You've got different categories, and you can see there's plenty on offer. Plenty to choose from. They're all created. You just need to amend them and adjust them to what is going to be suitable for you. You can see there's plenty for different books that you could use as an author. There's another option there to use. You could even create that into a book cover or an audio book cover. Going down further, we might choose this one for the example. So what we do is go choose. The first thing we need to do is to change up the name of it so we know. So let's just call it YouTube example tutorial. Then what we need to do is just go to different areas and amend them. Now if you wanted to, you could just change this to YouTube tutorial. Then you might want to have a change here. Learn the steps to kit for self-publishers. Whatever you want to do. You can change the picture here. So what you do, you click on it, you go replace. Then you can upload your own file or choose one yourself. So let's just choose this one. And we can also go to general styles and we can change the background box color. So you click on that, just say you want to change it to this sort of color. And you can change the background. If you wanted to change the color of this, you might want to have download rather than sign up. So we just go download today, and we can change the color. Let's go to a similar color to our book. I'll go to, that's the arrow. Sorry, I'm going to the wrong area. We need to go to our button, just here, and we can change that to, probably can't get the exact color as I'm moving through it here, but anyway, that's fine. Make sure you go through each section, and you can delete. You can say download your free copy today. You can remove sections, so you mightn't want those two sections. You can click on there, you can change different areas, go general styles, scroll down. You may not like that color, you might want to change it to that sort of color. You never know. Whatever you want to, you change the wording here. Now when you click on the box, you get to set custom fields. So you can do the first name, you can do whatever name you want, and then you can also include the email address, and you can do different boxes. Again, change up the the writing down here, you might want this box to be like a white maybe, and then the writing, the font color, that can be a darker color. Just make sure you adjust it to what you need to, and then when you feel like you've finished the design element, you go to settings and you work through these sections here. So general is when someone downloads your lead magnet, this is the message they'll receive. You can change that. Domain name, now this is the link that you'll be including in your book to get the lead magnet. So they would click on the link, take them to the landing page, and they can download the lead magnet. This is the custom domain there, but you can also change it. So if you wanted to call it YouTube tutorial, you can add that, and then that becomes the URL for the landing page. Just remember to save that. And then what we do, we would click save, or, sorry, the next thing you need to do, you go to incentive. Now this is where you need to include the download that your customer would receive for the lead magnet. So you can either use a URL, or you go to download, choose a file. So when you go choose file, you pick the file that you want. We're going to go this one, and then it downloads for us, and then we save, and then that will allow customers, when they download it, to get your lead magnet. There's a couple of other boxes here as well. So we can go advanced, and we can show different forms here, including an invisible reCAPTCHA. And then SEO. Include this if you want your landing page, for example, to start to get the SEO for Google. So there's different things that it would actually help with the tags. And that's how you add those details there. So remember, add the incentive, make sure you copy the domain name as well, and make sure you save all the details and copy that too. And then you would save it if you want to keep it as a draft. And when you go publish, it is now live, which means if someone used that link, then the URL link, they would then be taken to your landing page. So I'm not going to save this for the moment, just going to leave it. But let's go to the next step about our system. But remember, the landing page is a really important area. Just make sure you go through everything and delete anything that you don't need. And you can change the font types. You can change the different color combinations and the information there. And you can have a second page there as well. So let's go to the next stage of the process. Now this is the part of the tutorial where I want you to pause and go and create your landing page. Now, the 3 things you need to do if you haven't already is set up your account. You need to create your lead magnet, and that might take you a couple of hours to create or longer. And then you need to create your landing page. And the landing page, again, may take you an hour, but remember, once you've created these, you don't need to touch them again. They will be all automated, and it's a one-time effort for an ongoing return on that investment of time. So make sure you do those actions and those steps right away. Step 4 is to create your email sequence. This is when you build the automation of the lead magnet, so that if a customer signs up, becomes a subscriber, you can then set automatic emails to be sent to them after 24 hours, might be 5 days, 7 days, 6 months, 12 months time. But this email sequence allows you to build that connection and keep your customers updated with what's happening with your books, your brand, maybe new book launches as well. So let me show you how you create your email sequence inside ConvertKit. So I'm back now on the main landing page of ConvertKit. What I need to do is go up to where it says send, and we go to sequences. Now, first off, I'll show you the email sequence that I've created for the setup guide for this tutorial. And therefore, you can actually see how I've created it. Then we're going to go back and I'll show you the setup process for that to occur. So let's go to this one here. So it's a setup guide. And you can see I've created the email with some action steps. I've got my photo there, got some details about my course, and this will arrive 3 days after the customer receives their lead magnet. Now I've created a second email, and you can just add emails as many as you like, but this sequence I've just got 2. So you go to the second one, and this is email number 2, which will be delivered 7 days after the first one. So you can click how many days you want, and it's nice and easy to organize, and it keeps it nice and sequenced so that it's easy for you to see what's going on and for the customers to receive their emails. Now, I can add another email if I wanted to. I could add another 10 emails as part of this sequence. And it's important to make sure that with your email sequences that you're adding value all the time. But let's go back and show you how you would create your sequence. So you just go up to where it's, we're under send, under sequences. So you brought to this page, we go to new sequence. This will then ask us to write a name for our sequence, which we're just about to do once it loads up. And let's just, for example, just say YouTube ConvertKit tutorial. Go create sequence. And then you're given the main template. Now remember to complete the subject heading line. Might be YouTube tutorial, the 7 steps to email marketing, whatever it might be for you. Then you can change all of this writing here. You can delete it all if you wanted to. And then you can even add, when you push these buttons here, you can add images, files, buttons there, galleries, personalization. So you might like a personalized greeting, include the subscriber's first name in a greeting if it exists. So you add to the email, and you can change this little bit here, go hi, and then you can start with all the information. So have you completed first 3 steps of your email marketing with ConvertKit. So you can start, ignore the spelling errors here, and you can add photos, you can add whatever details you want to. You can then say after they receive the lead magnet, how many days, let's just do it after 4 days. And you can set on a certain day. Then you can add a separate, you can publish it, which would then make it go live. Then you go add email, and then you've got your second one, and you can change this all up again, change the days, and this will start to work in a sequence for you. It's very, very easy to create. Just remember to change the subject line, and you can go to settings as well, and you can change different settings depending on what you want and the behavior of the customer. You can go to reports, and the main thing we want to do is go to the content though. So we can do that. We go to content, and then we start writing the information. Just keep adding emails as you want to as well. So I won't save this. I'll go back to the original one. So I'll just do that now. Let's just go back out. And the other thing you can do when you go to automate, you go to visual automation. And this is when it's set up in a visual for you. So you can edit it and have a bit of a look and see what is included. And you can do, every time you want to add something to a plus. So if you want to add a tag, which is like a label on each person that might download your landing page, your lead magnet, you can add a tag. Now the tag is what you're going to identify that person. So if you do send other communication out, you know where that person's come from and what they might have been checking out with other email sequences. So you've got the tag, then the email sequence will go out as well, and then automation finishes after 2 emails go out. So that's how the automation, visual automation works as well. So let's go to the next step. Remember, when you're creating your email sequence, to have it all planned out as much as you can. You might want to create your emails in a Word document and then copy and paste them into your sequences. It's up to you. but it's just very, very simple to create your email sequences that way. And then when they land on the landing page, they'll be taken to your to be able to become a subscriber. Then the automation system will start to work because they're attached to that particular landing page. And so now's the critical time to go back and to take action to create your email sequences. Remember, if you want more depth in regards to what I'm talking about, you'll see the courses that I've created around email marketing. So you're welcome to complete that course. This is only going to be a shorter tutorial compared to the full course I've got, but I'm hoping that it will give you most information anyway. But just make sure you're taking action each time. Step number 5 is actually adding your lead magnet to your manuscript. And this is the important part where you bring together your lead magnet information and your link that you've created in ConvertKit, your landing page link that customers will click on to then allow them to put their details in to download your lead magnet that you've created. So let me step you through those steps that you can do to make sure you get it all right with including it in your manuscript. If you had your book, in this circumstance, How to Sell More Books Online, then remember what you need to do is include your lead magnet page within your manuscript. So what could your lead magnet page look like? Let me show you an example of what I would do for a book like this. And this is what my lead magnet page would look like. So as we concluded to sell more books online, I wanted to remind you of the free gift you're welcome to download. The 3 Steps to More Book Sales guide provides an overview of the key steps you need to take to sell more books as a self-publisher. So to download your free copy, simply click on the link below or scan the QR code to get your free copy today. Now, if they're obviously clicking on it, it will be only applicable to an ebook, but the alternative is to provide your QR code. And the QR code is easy to create, and I'll show you what you need to do to create that QR code so you can include it straight in your manuscript. So what you'd need to do is go back to Grow, Landing Pages and Forms. And if it was, for example, the 3 Steps to More Sales, we click on that. Actually, wrong one. Sorry, that's the form. I'd go back here. We need to go to this one here. This is the landing page that I created. I would go to my settings. I'd go to domain name, and this is the link right here. So I would copy the link, copy that, and I'm going to go to Kindlepreneur to generate my QR code. So I'll show you where to get that access to it now. So all we'd need to do is where it says enter URL is to grab our code just here, go here, and enter it right there. Then we push, we need to get rid of that, and we need to go enter. There's our QR code. Now we can also include a little image of our lead magnet in the middle here. All you need to do is click upload image and we'll upload your image right in the middle. You then do download QR code, and then I'll show you what it comes up looking like. And this is the QR code if you happen to add a little icon or picture. Depends what you want to add, but that's the QR code that it would look like, which you then include inside your book or your manuscript. So just a reminder, it's kindlepreneur.com/QR code generator, and I'll include this in the links or the description with a link to use this for free. And so that's step number 5. Make sure you take action. You need to grab the link from your landing page. You need to create your lead magnet page for your manuscript, and you need to generate your QR code to be able to include in your manuscript like I've got in this example here. So they're the steps that you need to take for creating your automated system for ConvertKit. But let's have a look at a few different ways you can find an audience to generate more subscribers for your email marketing. And so a few different places could be via the books you create. Of course, you're going to be including that link inside your book for your lead magnet. You can do it via blogs and newsletters. You might have a YouTube channel. You can add the landing page link in your YouTube channel, or through social media as well. So you need to be able to leverage those different areas wherever you can to get more of an audience onto your subscriber base so you can email and keep them updated with different things that are happening with your books and with your brand. And therefore, what are the 5 things you should be actioning if you haven't already? First one, you need to create your account. Remember to download the free setup guide for ConvertKit that I've provided as part of this tutorial. You'll see the link in the description, but also you can refer to it in the next little section I'm going to be talking about. Number 2 is create your lead magnet. Number 3 is to create your landing page. Number 4, create an email sequence. And number 5 is to add the link to your manuscript. So they're the 5 key things that you need to action to make this happen and to bring it all together. And so this brings us to the one of the final sections, and that is the setup guide. So this is a lead magnet of sorts, and it would be actually interesting for you to go through the process I've created as part of the tutorial process. So I've got the QR code here. That would take you to the landing page. And the setup guide has got about 7 or 8 different steps that you can follow to create an account, get subscribers across, one-off broadcasts, and it's a very handy resource that you can refer to when you're setting up your ConvertKit account and you need some help just to go through those steps that we've covered during this tutorial. So when you do go to the landing page, and if you were to become a subscriber, you just receive 2 emails as part of the sequence. And I've just deliberately set them up that way so you don't receive too much correspondence from me. However, if you wanted to get more information about how this system just works, well, you'll probably receive other emails or one-off broadcasts that I create for my audience that are doing any self-publishing. So that might be of interest to you as well. Now, what I also will mention is I've got plenty of free resources on my Gumroad store. These are just a handful of examples that are available on the Gumroad store, so just make sure you check them out. They're all free, and you can just download them from Gumroad. You may have already downloaded plenty of these before, but there might be some that are new that you can also download. And just to wrap things up, remember that what you've seen today is a condensed version of my full course. So the full course has 22 lessons and is approximately 90 minutes in length. And I've placed that course onto Udemy, Skillshare, and Thinkific. And I'll leave the links in the description if you want the full course. Now, I've provided the condensed version in as part of this YouTube video, but if you want the full version, then jump online and see if that course is going to be suitable for you. But I've really enjoyed delivering this content to you, and I do hope that you get a great deal of value and long-term customers and subscribers through the process that I've taught you by using ConvertKit for your email marketing. And it's going to be a wonderful way to build a loyal list of customers for the future of your publishing. Well, I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. It really is going to be a game changer for you and the X factor regarding your brand and building your subscribers so you can get more repeat customers. So do remember to check out the description links, because there's that free download that you can use, the setup guide for self-publishers that will walk you through many of the steps that I've outlined in today's tutorial, and it gives you some handy hints about how to use ConvertKit to build your email marketing system. So thanks very much for watching. Remember, if you do like these kinds of videos, to give them a thumbs up and hit the notification bell so you're aware of more videos that I create. So until my next video, I'll see you then.